Welcome to the BEASTwriter family, where social media engagement is encouraged. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we are going to be discussing breaking news regarding Trey Lance. For those who don't know, or just catching up, or just getting off work, or on your way back from traffic, sitting in traffic. You guys know how the South Bay Area goes, which way you're commuting. News broke that Trey Lance has suffered a chip in his finger. Now, we heard the term chip on his shoulder. If you guys follow me, I'm the one that asked the question about Reuben Foster when he was drafted and said, hey, do you have a chip on your shoulder? Because he had a shoulder injury and people were laughing at it. I meant no pun intended when it came to Reuben Foster, but we all kind of had a nice laugh about it. But the chip on his shoulder reference when it came to Reuben Foster was in regards to him being a top 5 pick and then dropping all the way to, I believe it was number 31 overall, where the Niners had to trade up back in the tail end of the first round to grab him right before the Seattle Seahawks did. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to talk about Trey Lance's chip in his finger, and it's his throwing finger. Or throwing hand. Throwing finger, you don't throw with fingers. Or actually you could. But it's his throwing hand, and now it appears that he's going to be out for at least the next 7 weeks. All right, he's going to be out for the next 7 weeks. This is huge news because I had high hopes for Trey Lance, and I know everyone had high hopes for Trey Lance. Claudia Billick says, "Hi, BEASTwriter, how you doing?" And Duke says, "Yo." Duke of Uke BYT says, "Yo, what's going on, Duke? I see you, man, here on Twitch." Twitch is the way to go. If you guys aren't on Twitch, we're going to go ahead and talk about that. Why you should be on Twitch, why you should be on Discord. I do a lot of cool giveaways for people on Discord who follow me on all different social media platforms. I understand you guys can't be in every single one. It's not your 9 to 5. It's mine. But what's good about Discord is when I'm not posting, for instance, you guys are probably wondering, Beast, where have you been all this time? Well, I've been on Discord. That's where I've been. So I've been engaging with the people on Discord. So when I'm not posting in between posts, whether it be social media, YouTube, Twitter, you name it, Facebook, I am on Discord. You guys can ask me questions. It's almost like a cool chat where the BWF can all get together and we can just talk football. And it's all good vibes only in Discord and no matter what social media platform we are on. So again, if you guys are just tuning in, again, news broke that I was going to say Trey Lance, excuse me, brain fart, or brain freeze. Trey Lance has had a chip in his throwing finger. He is now out for the next 7 days. Here's some quotes from Trey Lance in regard to his injury. I'm just going to go ahead and read this off for you guys. And again, if you guys are just tuning in, please be sure to hit the like button. Social media engagement is encouraged. Just hitting a simple like button is free. Please go ahead and do so. We have a lot of people watching this video right now, so hit the like button, do your boy a solid here in the BWF, and also engage with me in this platform or the respective platform that you're on, whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook Live, Facebook groups, whatever the case may be. What else am I on? Instagram Live. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Discord right now. What else am I on? I'm on everything. TikTok. I'm on TikTok for you millennials. But getting back to it, all right, this is what Shanahan said, all right? I'm not going to get into which finger it is. It's the throwing finger, let's be honest. It's the throwing hand. Odds are I'm probably thinking it's the index finger. I'm thinking it's the index finger because if it was the middle finger, I think you can kind of, you can do some stuff with that. If it was this finger, yeah. But I'm pretty sure it's the index finger if I had to take a guess. But this is what he said. Now, I'm just assuming here. We don't know for sure because he's not releasing that information. But let's face it, it's definitely not his non-throwing hand because he's a quarterback. You can throw all that left hand or the offhand doing is guiding the football. You're throwing with the hand that you're throwing with, which would be his right hand. So he says, I'm not going to go into which finger it is. It's one of his 5. Well, if it's a finger, then it wouldn't be the thumb. So then that leaves us with 4 options there. It can't be the opposable thumb. He said a finger. So now it can't be one of 5. Now it can only be one of 4. So we're kind of deciphering, sifting through the smoke, kind of seeing what's going on here. Yeah, 5 fingers. No, yeah, 4 fingers and 1 thumb. But I get what you're saying, Shanahan. Shanahan said without specifying which hand, but presumably based on the coach's quote, it is Lance throwing hand, right? So with that being said, and their season opener set against the Detroit Lions, September 12th, every time I think about the Detroit Lions, I always brings me back to Jim Schwartz and his interaction with Jim Harbaugh at midfield, where they almost got in a fight. And that was the day I met Coach Uyama when we were working out together that following Monday. But anyways, gosh, flashbacks. What was that, 2011? Lance talked about the injury after the game, but did not make a big deal of it. He did shed some insight as to his injury, but this is what he had to say. He says, I honestly don't even remember what play it happened on. That's what he said. All right. He says, but I think I jammed it on a helmet or something. So basically a face mask or a helmet, meaning that he was probably throwing, and as the defender was coming forward, pop, ouch. Furthermore, he said, but yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'll see how it feels Monday for sure, which is today. I think we'll be able to tell a little bit more, but yeah, not too worried about it at all. All right. So with that being said, news also, 49ers fans, Sean Coleman has a strained tricep. You guys want to know what a tricep is? Tricep is okay. So tricep is something that's right here. This is your tricep, and he has a strained tricep. And usually when you play offensive or defensive line, you're using a lot of what's called push movements. So again, I did some push movements today as I go back on prep for my bodybuilding show and do what's called splits, right? So you do triceps and usually chest run day, and then you hit your back and biceps, which would be considered a pull day. And in between that, you're going to be hitting your legs and then your core. So the staples of working out and really grabbing that physique all together, it all plays a role. When it comes to Sean Coleman, the offensive tackle, he has a strained tricep. And let me tell you something. I had a strained tricep before. It's not fun. It's not fun. You can't do anything with a strained tricep. You cannot generate any type of push. There is damage there in that strain. It just hurts. Like it hurts like a mother. So like, I don't know how else to tell you, but he has a strained tricep and he's going to be out for a while. So Sean Coleman is going to be out indefinitely. I don't know how long, but he's out. He is out. All right, let's get to some of your questions. We have a lot of comments here. Tommy Dunmeyer says index finger. Yep, it was an index finger. 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 So we should just go like this. Remember when, if you guys were following the BWF, remember go Jimmy Garoppolo for what? One more year with the index finger. One more year. So now it's like one more year. We want Lance. One more year. We want Lance. Okay. I just think it's funny how Jimmy Garoppolo is there for one more year, and we always pulled up the index finger, and then ironically, Trey Lance has a index finger injury, and he's supposed to take Jimmy Garoppolo's spot. All right, here we go. All right, let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Thank you so much, Ethan Forker from 657 from the Twitch family. Thank you for joining us, and Mahalo for joining us on the BEASTwriter family. You had a question here. You said thoughts on Ronaldo going back to the United and Messi making his debut with PSG. I like Ronaldo. He's one of my favorite players, soccer players growing up. I shouldn't say growing up. It was back in college. I mean, when I was watching UEFA, it was always Drogba. You had Messi. Who else was there? Rooney. And I was always watching Chelsea. You would watch Liverpool, teams like that. My roommate was a huge UEFA. He was a Chelsea fan. I was a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. But yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo is considered conceited, cocky, whatever the case. He gets it done. I don't care. I like the way he backs up his game. He's a beast. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Did I say 7 weeks? I meant 7 days. If I said 7 weeks, I meant to say 7 days. 7 days. He's going to be out for 7 days. 7 days. All right. So here we go. Let's see what we got here. David Rodriguez from Facebook says they don't need Jimmy to do anything versus the weak Lions. Just run the ball and the game on to the next game. Yeah. The Detroit Lions, led by Dan Campbell, are not very strong. They are like damaged goods because look at their roster. I mean, literally, didn't they just release Rashad Perryman, former first-round pick that was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens? I don't know what year it was, but I think he played. His father was Brett Perryman, who ironically played for the Detroit Lions. Rashad Perryman, wasn't he just released by the team as well? And he had $2 million in guaranteed money, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just something like, yeah, the Detroit Lions, what do they have going for them? Kenny Galladay left for the New York Giants, right? Signed that big money contract to be the wide receiver one because Sterling Shepard has been injury prone. Talked about this in my earlier videos here on YouTube. So you guys can just go ahead and YouTube search BEASTwriter, Kenny Galladay, Giants. And people are wondering, do you cover all 32? Yes, I cover all 32 as I'm pointing this out. Yes, I do. So with that being said, you look at Sterling Shepard, he might be a cap casualty at the end of the year based on the cap savings that you would get. Because again, if he has another down year, I can't help but think that GM Dave Gettleman's going to get rid of him. So you see kind of how the domino effects play a role, right? So we have to talk about, if you're going to talk about the Niners, you need to know the pulse of all 31 other NFL teams. Otherwise, how do you know what to gauge? You don't. You just name players off roster like, oh yeah, like Sherfield's the best thing. No. So speaking of Sherfield having a hell of a preseason, he's going to make the 53. I don't think that's without question. Mohamed Sanu, he'll probably make the 53, no question about it. So you have a stable Brandon Ayuk, obviously Deebo Samuel. You have guys out there. Jalen Hurd, Jawan Jennings, that's where it kind of gets dicey. We don't know what's going to happen. But ultimately, my thinking is, hey, look, Jalen Hurd, he's healthy, or healthy-ish, right? He played against the Raiders, so he's healthy-ish. I like that. We have to see how that one plays out. Fernando from the BEASTwriter family says, how's it going, BEASTwriter? I am doing good. How are you doing? Amin the Dream is in the house. He says, hi, Beast. How you doing, Amin? I like your avatar. It's dope. All right. Daniel Jr. Middleton. Good afternoon, Beast. Good afternoon, Daniel. Thank you for tuning in here in the BEASTwriter family. Whoops. I said weeks. I meant to say that is wrong. I meant to say days. My bad. So 7 days. Did I say 7 weeks? If I said 7 weeks, I meant to say 7 days. And that's my bad. That's my bad. So hopefully I said 7 days instead of 7 weeks because it's not supposed to be weeks. If it was 7 weeks, then that'd be a huge no-no. So I apologize if I said 7 weeks. I meant to write 7 days. Yeah, 7 days. At least 7 days. At least 7 days. I just got excited. It's not the word, so I'm not really happy about that. But in the title, it says 7 days. So excuse me, I said 7 days. I meant to say 7 days, not 7 weeks. If it was 7 weeks, I think that'd be breaking news. I'd be like, oh my goodness, like he's out for 7 weeks. Here we go again. Oh my gosh. Speaking of here we go again, Carl Lawson. Again, I broke news on this, or helped break news on this, I should say. I was trending on Twitter for my Carl Lawson trade analysis as to when he went down to a torn Achilles. They then struck a deal for Shaq Lawson. And again, the cap savings from the Houston Texans would be $1.49 million. I talked about this earlier, and since we cover all 32, that's going to have a domino effect. Now, the Jets are getting hit by the injury bug. I don't know if this is a Robert Saleh thing. I don't know if he's cursed, and then players are just getting injured no matter where Robert Saleh. But players are getting injured on the New York Jets. That's all I got to say about that. I don't know. I feel bad for Saleh, but I don't know. Injuries seem to follow Saleh. I mean, torn Achilles before the season begins with your top pass rusher that you got in free agency to basically be that guy, right? He was supposed to be that guy coming from the Cincinnati Bengals, and then the Bengals got Trey Hendrickson. So you see a game of musical chairs there because they got Trey Hendrickson from the New Orleans Saints. And so you kind of see like, hey, what's going on there? Because Carl Lawson left the Bengals. And then even before that, they had Carlos Dunlap, who was traded to the Seattle Seahawks, got released because of his big cap number, and then they re-signed him to a new deal. So a lot of edge rushing things are going around here. And unfortunately, Carl Lawson is out for the year. So sad. Jerry Yang says, this is a common injury when the finger is jammed, hyperextended, the middle knuckle of the finger is usually affected. Yes, it's probably what's called a fracture. I don't know. I think it's a fracture. If it's a chip, right, then it usually means fracture, right? If there's a chip, well, I don't know, because chip can be, it's just a chip. Like, what's a chip? He didn't say strain. He didn't say, anything like that. So anyways, we can all play the role of being a sports therapist or sports physical therapist. But unfortunately, We are not. Jerry Yang says the tissue that connects the fingers can stretch and pull off a chip of a bone. Yes. Treatment is usually splinting for a week, no surgery. Yeah, depending on the type of damage that's done there, right? Because if it's only a week, my thinking is it's going to be in a splint, right? If you guys don't know what a splint is, it's something that you put right over the finger, and basically it kind of makes it immobile. So you can't move it. It's just annoying. It's just there. So I don't see Trey Lance even throwing the football for the next 7 days, right? Because there'll be in what's called a soft splint. Somebody will also call it a soft cast. It's basically something just so it like heals properly, right? So you're going to want to make sure that you kind of rest it. That's why he's not doing anything right now. And I think he'll be fine. All right. Jerry Yang says, this is from my friend who's a sports doctor. All right. So that's from Jerry Yang's friend who's a sports doctor. I am actually going to have my own sports doctor on here as well. Actually, if your friend is a sports doctor, let's talk to him. I want to know what he has to say, Jerry, because he would know better than any of us because he's a sports doctor. But again, we don't know the extent of the injury. And I'm going to find out more information about that as we keep things Beast 100 all the time. But yeah, it's not looking promising because of the fact, like, we don't know how bad it really is. If it would, a chip. Yeah, he has a chip in his finger. Okay. Well, I don't know. Why don't you just call it what it is? Shanahan's trying to play it off, but it's probably the index finger, if I'm not mistaken. I would bet my house that it's his index finger. I don't know. I'm just saying. Mel says, my PT wife says a chip is indeed a fracture. There you go. Beast approved. You know what I'm talking about. Called it. Beast approved. Boom. It is a fracture. Right? So, again, anytime something like that happens, it's going to be one of those things that he is going to have to play with. Now, this is going to go back to, okay, so if he comes in and he struggles, which he probably won't, I would take that back. Like, let's say he has growing pains. What rookie quarterback does not have growing pains? Every rookie quarterback has growing pains. And let's say he starts struggling, and then there's be whispers, and everyone in the media is going to be like, oh, man, was Trey Lance, is this injury the reason why he's struggling? Let's click on that article. Is Trey Lance struggling because of that injury? Or let's say it goes away and does well. Then it's like, oh, that injury really wasn't anything, right? It really was a non-issue or an issue not to be too concerned about long-term when we talk about instant gratification versus long-term gains, right? But I think it's funny because there are going to be those people who are just going to put out stuff and be like, well, he threw 4 for 8 in that game, and I'm pretty sure that index finger had a lot to do with that throw. It's like, no, bro, he's just a rookie quarterback learning the nuances of the NFL defenses. Oh, my gosh. I think it's so hilarious that people just like, yeah. Anyways, Jerry says, let me hit you up offline and get him on your show. Dude, just have him hop on the show now, dude. I think I posted the link in the YouTube description box, bro. If he wants to, I would love to talk to him right now because we are doing this live right now. He's like, dude, he has a 9-to-5 job, man. He has other things he has to do. But no, it'd be really cool if he could hop on the show right now because we're doing this live. By tomorrow, it's already old news. I would already have the information by now. So that's why everything's so time sensitive in the NFL. And again, people are wondering how you break into the NFL media. Well, you have to be on the go. It doesn't matter if it's a birthday. It doesn't matter. On my birthday, I was working. I was literally sitting at a dinner table. I was still working at the dinner table. You have to be on it. And to turn it off and on, if you want to get to the top of the game, you're just have to put in that grind. There is no days off. It doesn't matter. You can't just be like, oh, it's Christmas. So no, it's like you're always on call, basically. You always have to push out content if there's worthy content. Like if there's trades going down, you're going to want to push that. Because the moment you don't, someone else will, and you'll lose that traction. You feel me? So again, people are always asking me, how did I break into the NFL media, being a credentialed beat writer, being the one of the first, if not the first NFL media credentialed beat writer for the San Francisco 49ers, being self-employed. And I said, you know what? It's all about always building up those relationships, right? Just like the saying goes, a kid wasn't raised without a village, right? Like whatever that saying is. So you need people in your corner, obviously. You can't do it alone. It's just impossible. So lean on those connections. And again, I wouldn't be in the position I am today without having those and fostering those relationships. Because again, once you think you're a know-it-all, or you think, oh, I know everything. It's like, no, dude, you really don't, dude. And that's when you're going to lose traction. And then, so I would say in the NFL media, my best advice for you, like for instance, I wasn't even going to do a live stream on the Niners today. I was going to do a different team. But again, you kind of have to set your audibles, right? Just like at the line of scrimmage, man. You see something, you're like, oh man, now we have to call a hot route pre-snap because why are they having this freaking linebacker on my running back? That's a mismatch right there because my running back can run a 4-4. He could just run a wheel route up, and I'll just have that split end just go deep to clear out that real estate for him. Have all that room to work with on this side. And then I'll run chips formation. I have a 3x2 on either side, empty set formation, and here we go. So that's what we're doing here in the BEASTwriter family. Beast approved. I love it. I love it. I love it here on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. And again, follow me on Discord. Just let me put this up there for you guys because you guys are probably going to want to know. What is Discord? Follow me on Discord right here. Follow the server on Discord. That way you'll be up to date and up to speed on all things Beast in real time. You will not miss a beat on anything I had to say, no matter which platform you follow me on, because on Discord, you'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it. So I'm going to leave this up there. Just open up a new web browser, and we have huge announcements. Like on Discord, we give away my own season tickets to the Niners games. Like, who does that? Like, who in the media gives out their own season tickets to the Niners game every single year? This guy does, because it's all about you guys. It's not about me. It was never about me. It's all about you. That's why I made the logo the BWF, BEASTwriter Family. If I want to just make it about me, it'd just be BEASTwriter. But it's the BEASTwriter Family. Home of the good vibes only, where social media engagement is encouraged. Holla at your boy. All right, here we go. What else we got here? Don Lovato says, does Trey Lance have a Dorito? Bruh. I like your avatar, but I like that Kobe Bryant dunk. That was his, rookie year? But anyways, I love Kobe Bryant, by the way. Not beast mentality. I got the beast mentality from the Mamba mentality. Does Trey Lance have a Doritos chip? Wow. It better be Cool Ranch. Falcon SF Mon. What's going on, my man? He says, what's up, brother? One love. What is going on? And thank you and mahalo for joining the BEASTwriter family. Do me a solid for all you guys who are watching. Give me a thumbs up on this video and just engage with us. If you can't engage with us, just give us a thumbs up if you're watching this, because it really does me a solid and actually gives me feedback. Like, if the more thumbs up I have, the more I'm going to want to talk about that specific team. So if you want me to talk about the Niners, then, and you're a Niner fan, be like, I want more Beast analysis on the Niners, then give it a thumbs up. Obviously, share all my social media engagement if you like it, because odds are if you do, someone else will as well. All right. So thank you so much. I appreciate the love, and join us on Discord. The link is below. Billy Howard says, injury prone already. Jimmy is starting. I wouldn't say he's injury prone. I wouldn't go that far. See, now this is how, Billy, this is how things start. Rumors start. Now, I have Trey Lance's back on. He's not injury prone. The guy is tough as nails. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think he's injury prone, simply because of this index finger on the throwing hand. But I will say this. I will say it is concerning, and it is something to watch down the road. Now, am I going to say it's the reason why he's going to struggle if he does struggle? No. But if the ball is traveling a different way, if the velocity on the ball is not the right trajectory, then and then we're seeing it like, hey, that doesn't really convert to what we saw during the preseason and in college, then, yeah, there might be some substitute there. But again, even that sample size to pull from is going to be all for naught. It's going to be based on Jimmy Garoppolo's success, because at the end of the day, I said Niners need a scapegoat, and Jimmy Garoppolo is there for one more year. See that index finger? One more year. I love it. Shepard Wildberger. If you guys are diehard Niner fans from the early 2000s, Wildberger, I thought it said, for instance, Engelberger. If you guys know John Engelberger from Virginia Tech, second-round pick in that 2000 NFL draft class with Tom Brady, where the Niners also got Giovanni Carmazzi in the third round out of Hofstra. I think they got John Milam there. They got Paul Smith out of UTEP. They also got Jason Webster and Ahmed Plemmer out of Texas A&M in the second round, and first round out of The Ohio State University, respectively. And they traded down to get multiple first-round picks with the Washington Redskins at the time. And I think the Redskins got Curtis, or was it, did they get Samuel, the tackle? And then they dropped back and got JP, Julian Peterson from Michigan State, who was considered a tweener in the first round. I believe it was number 16 overall. It went from 3 to 12 to 12 to 16, if I'm not mistaken. How do I remember this? Because that's when I started covering the NFL draft religiously. Actually, it was back in 1998 when they got R.W. McQuarters out of Oklahoma State University. And I thought this guy was the real deal. R.W. McQuarters is the real deal. And ultimately, it wasn't the real deal. Yeah, had high hopes for R.W. Who remembers R.W. McQuarters? Who's old enough to remember R.W. McQuarters? What Niner fan is? Falcon SF, I like what I'm seeing. Our players' depth is solid, and prayers everyone stay healthy. Yes. Duke says, so Nate Sudfeld is part of the 53. Probably. They probably are keeping 3 quarterbacks, at least initially, because again, if Jimmy Garoppolo goes down and Trey Lance is obviously not playing this week against the Detroit Lions. But then again, here's the thing. You're playing the Detroit freaking Lions, man. Like, honestly, okay, let's go back and talk about, I'm doing this off the top of my head. Screw it. All right. How many times have the Niners drafted players who played quarterback, whether it be in high school, whether it be in college? You guys watch a guy on NFL Network who was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers and who was mainly used for special teams purposes. He was a team captain coming out of Penn State, out of the Big Ten Conference. You're talking about Michael Robinson. Now, if you had a guy like Michael Robinson on your roster, or even like go wide receiver at Notre Dame, you look at a guy like Arnaz Battle, right? If these guys can play the quarterback position, and they've proven it over time. Wasn't Cody Pickett another one, right? Cody Pickett could be another guy, right? That kind of played quarterback as well. So over the course, I can't remember, I'm doing this, but yeah, over the course of the years, there's been a lot of players who played other positions. And against the Detroit Lions, come on, odds are you're going to be up by 30 points. I don't know. I mean, can they stop the run? I mean, who do they have stopping the run? I mean, yeah, they got Levi. I can't pronounce his name, but Levi Onwuzurike or whatever. And they got a few guys like Alan McNeil, if I'm not mistaken. I think he came out of NC State or somewhere. Can't remember what school he came out of, but they did solidify the defensive line at some point. But ultimately, yeah, they got Penei Sewell, yeah, but he's a rookie. What do they have? TJ Hawkinson? I mean, but you can just isolate him in that cover 3 scheme. Just keep everything in front of you. Have 4 underneath defenders there. So he's going to be a non-factor. If you're playing fantasy, I would even play him. I wouldn't play TJ Hawkinson against this 49ers defense. Everyone's going to eat. The Niners are going to have 5, 6, at least 5 sacks. At least 5. I'm calling it now. Beast analysis. Niners are going to have at least 5 sacks against the Detroit Lions. At least 5. Count them. And if you're playing fantasy, you're going to want to play the Niners. I don't care what the projected points are. I'm telling you right now, the Niners are going to come out and people are going to be like, dang, that's a top 5. DeMeco Ryans is awesome. You know why? Because DeMeco Ryans in week 1 is going to set the tone. He's going to blitz more times than not with Fred Warner. He's going to blitz more times than not with that slot cornerback. He's going to bring pressure from all different sides. I'm telling you right now, and they're going to get home. They're going to get pressure. They're going to create turnovers, force fumbles, you name it. I bet you anything. When you talk about fantasy football, when it's all said and done, at the end of week 1, the San Francisco 49ers will end up with a top 5 defense ending week 1. I don't care what the projection points are. You do me a solid and you play them. And then you can come back to me and be like, you know what, Beast, you were right. I played the San Francisco 49ers against the Detroit Lions week 1, and I won the game. No, I don't know. It depends on your roster. I don't know if you're PPR on or you have PPR. I don't know if you're standard. But what I do know is I'm playing the Niners week 1. So if I'm doing it, you better do it. All right. Sandy Stout says, I can't wait to my Niners for the first time September 19th. Streamlet, yeah, join us on Discord. There's the Discord to follow me on Discord. Thank you so much for doing that, Duke Ovuke, BYT. And you can join us on Discord, and we have a good moderator team, so we go ahead and make sure that the bots and the trolls and everything are in there. Now, I will say this. I do not like self-promotion. I will say that. I know people are trying to use my social media platform to self-promote their stuff, which is not fine. It's not cool. like I don't go on other people's channels self-promoting my stuff, so I appreciate out of respect for me and the BEASTwriter family that you don't do that on mine. So it's just kind of like a mutual respect thing. And I'm all about giving you shout outs. I'm all like, there's a time and a place for like, hey, go follow this guy. But then don't be like, hey, I'm leaving now to do my live stream, or hey, I'm doing this. And it's like, yo, bro, like what you think, man? Like that's not cool. That's not cool. Because if you're really engaged with what I have to say, then you wouldn't just be hopping in just to promote your own stuff. I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it 100. So again, people are trying to, I don't know what the word is, but it's just disrespectful. It's disrespectful. So not just me, but the BEASTwriter family. And again, it's all home of the good vibes only. And again, I'm all willing to like help promote you, but there is a time and a place for that. Right. So again, if I don't do it to you, please show me the respect and don't do that to me. But join us on Discord, home of the good vibes only. There is a place where we can all raise each other up, and there is a time to do that. As I have everybody on my show, I don't discriminate. Sandy Stout says, I can't wait for my Niners to be the first time. Oh, to see the first time on September 19th. That's what's up. Spider Joe 83. Spider Joe 83 is on Discord. He is also on Twitch. I think Spider Joe, you follow me on Twitter. I think you follow me on everything, Spider Joe 83. He says, yo, Ryan, what's up? I heard about Trey Lance's injury and index finger and being out for a week. That shouldn't be a problem. He will come back firing and throwing dimes. Watch and see. He will surprise a lot of people's eyes. I don't think Trey Lance is going to be surprising at all. I think Trey Lance is going to be a monster. I think he is the future. I do. I really like Trey Lance's game. I mean, I think at this point, Kyle Shanahan is slowly gaining Trey Lance's trust. Now, the sample size to pull from is very small, right? Because, again, preseason is very vanilla. And I talked about this when dissecting Trey Lance's game in the preseason opener and how he threw for, what was it, 5 of 14. But I was like, nah, he didn't go 5 of 14 because 3 of those were drops. Another one was a business decision by Richie James to not go ahead and extend for that play. So I'm not going to give that on him. He's not going to get counted that against him in his passer rating. And then I said, and 2 of those passes that went for 11 and 12 yards respectively were screen passes. Although they were considered laterals, they go down as officially as a run to Juwan Jennings. Those were considered laterals in my grading system. So again, my grading system checks out. And this is what I look for. I grade every single snap. Now, NFL, if you're watching that, give your boy Coach's Film back so I can go ahead and provide my viewers, my loyal BEASTwriter family, the game grades that they all custom to love here in the BEASTwriter family, so I can go ahead and put out content like that. Otherwise, I'm doing this blind just like everyone else. And then, again, this is what I do. I do it all for you. It takes a lot of time. But please, NFL, give your boy back Coach's Film so we can go ahead and talk football on a higher level. I need that. But in the meantime, I do grade college football. So college football is also fun. And you get Coach's Film for college football. So got an early start and early pulse on the 2022 NFL draft class. All right. Duke of Uke says, hey, Spider, good to see you, man. Yes, he's all good vibes only here on Twitch, here on YouTube. Fortnite's Ultimate Report said, just found out Trey Lance is hurt with a finger injury. Yes. Thank you for tuning in for Fortnite's Ultimate Report. Thank you so much. And mahalo for love. Daniel Jr. Middleton says, I remember him. Damn, you do. Okay. Carrie Witherspoon Brown says, of course I remember him. I'm 46. Carrie Witherspoon Brown, I know this is a weird question to ask you, but are you related to Akilla Witherspoon? Akilla Witherspoon's cousin he follows us on the BEASTwriter family along with some of the players and their family members. So I'm wondering if you are related to Akilla Witherspoon at all, because Akilla Witherspoon's cousin was chiming in on the chat right before he was signing with the Seattle Seahawks, and wanted my thoughts on Akilla Witherspoon and say, hey, look, I like Akilla Witherspoon. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowl player for the Seattle Seahawks and playing that cover 3 scheme. And now what's happening with Akilla Witherspoon? Niners need a boundary quarterback. Akilla Witherspoon is killing it up in the Pacific Northwest in the same type scheme. And people are saying, he sucks. Not in my grading system. I had a grading system. If you guys want to see what I had to say about that, head over to YouTube. Just type in BEASTwriter Akilla Witherspoon. You will know my grades on him every single week and broke it down brick by brick. Holla at your boy. Spider Joe 83 says, thanks, Duke. I've been around lately and keeping Ryan updated. All right. So let's go ahead and give him a shout out. Check out mods. Oh, you did. Check out Spider 83 on Twitch. Again, I do shout outs on here. So again, I'm down to promote you guys. I'm down to give you love, but there is a time and a place to do it. You can't just hop in and say, go follow me here, or I'm having this guy on, or what. No, there's a time and a place for that. Like this, very respectful. And there's, I guess there's etiquette involved, right? I don't know. Some people need to, I don't know. Maybe they don't know etiquette. I don't know. All right. Spider Joe 83 says, hey, Ryan, it's regular season time. Let's go Niners. I hope we kick their their butts the following Sunday. All right, here we go. We got a lot of stuff. Dang. Okay, hold on. I got to catch up on my comments. There's a lot. Whoa, let's see here. Jerry says, Cody Pickett. That's awesome. Haven't heard that name in a long time. Yeah, I can go back and name drop people. I can name drop. Let's see. Off the top of our heads. I mean, Anthony Parker out of Weber State, right? Like I said, John Milam out of the small school, Lenore Ryan. Right? At Lenore Ryan. Look it up. Look up that score in Lenore Ryan. John Milam, I believe he was wearing number 99 at that time. You can talk about him. Quaim Harris. Remember Quaim Harris, first round bust. Rashawn Woods out of Oklahoma State, first round bust. Just along with R.W. McCorders, first round bust out of Oklahoma State University, which probably means that the Niners should not be drafting Oklahoma State products in the first round from that school. I'm joking because, there's a running joke about that, how you can't really pin that on the player based on past behavior. But hey, if I was a GM and I drafted Rashawn Woods and R.W. McCorders out of that school in the first round, you can bet. I mean, human nature would tell us like, oh man, like, is that a red flag? Because are we cursed because they came out of Oklahoma State? It happens. It happens. And yeah. So there's a lot of players coming out. Josh Shaw out of Michigan State, right? Reggie McGrew out of University of Florida, Terry Jackson out of University of Florida, Ty Streets out of University of Michigan. There's a lot of players we can talk about off the top of our heads. Who else we got? Cedric Wilson out of University of Tennessee, whose son believes he played with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know where he's off to now. I think he's still with the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. I got to look it up. But Cedric Wilson Jr. and Cedric Wilson's was actually during his playing days when I was in high school. He actually lived by me, and I knew it was Cedric Wilson. No one else knew who he was because he wasn't a big-time player until he messed up that Rams game and lost it for us. But, yeah, there's a lot of players that I remember and have a strong tie. Shaquille Kiefer, right, out of Purdue, who is known as a tweener as well, just like Julian Peterson, right? Is he a 3-4 outside linebacker or a 4-3 defensive end, right? There's a lot. Who else do we got here? Nose tackle Anthony Adams out of Penn State. So we can go down the line off the top of my head. And again, I'm all about it. I'm all about the Niners. I'm all about every single NFL team. Love them. Jerry Yang says Eagles won't be great either. So really week 3 gets tougher. The Eagles are one of those teams. Yeah, you never know though. You'll never know how they're going to play that game. And again, they are in the NFC East. Not much going out there. Spider Joe says, giving you a shout out, Ryan. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Always positive. Look what Duke says. Duke says on Twitch, I like your positive outlook. Yeah, I'm hyped for week 1 too. All right. So yeah, check us out on Twitch if you guys have not done that. Thank you so much for doing that. And that's what we're doing, man. We're doing a lot of stuff on Twitch, a lot of stuff on Discord. Again, the link is here. Join us on Discord because again, we're going to give away just like we do on YouTube, just like we do on Twitter, just like we do on Facebook. I've been doing this since 2000, was it my 10th year covering the Niners? So I've been doing the giveaway since 2013. So how many years is that? Dang, that's a long time. So yeah, since 2013. Talked to my friend. His name's Rick Reyes. And Rick Reyes was my day one A1. Like I'm talking about before I got big with the Niners, just starting off like many of you are today. And he was my day one, and still to this day, like he just showed me love. Like he literally a story, right? So I just reached out to him. I'm like, hey, how you doing, man? I haven't talked to you for a while, because it showed up on my timeline that we hung out, and I was like, oh, I miss this guy. I'm gonna see what he's up to, and he's doing well. And all of a sudden, I just get this notification. I'm like, oh, dang, dude! Like he's like, hey, yeah, treat yourself. I'm like, oh, thanks for the money. So he just like drops like 3 digits, and he's like, oh yeah, I just want to say thank you for all the times for giving me free tickets and everything for me and my son. And it was our first Niner game at Levi Stadium. And so, yeah, it's all about, see, this is what it's about. Just giving back and expecting nothing in return. I wasn't even expecting that. I was like, dude, why'd you give me money? Like, I'm going to return this. He's like, no. It's like, no. It's like, oh gosh, here we go. But no, it's just all about good vibes only. That's what it's all about, and building up those relationships. I'm always down to meet and discuss and talk football with all you guys. And like I said, no voice is greater than one or the other. Everyone can have an opinion about it. Just be respectful. So no matter what fan base you root for, there is a time and a place to show that respect. This is not like bickering. We are all older now. All right. Ooh, Kerry Witherspoon Brown says Brandon Lloyd would have been great with his team. Yeah, Brandon Lloyd, that's another one. Brandon Lloyd, if you guys don't know who he is, I have high hopes for Brandon Lloyd as well. Brandon Lloyd coming out of the University of Illinois, I believe he was a 4th-round pick, and I bought his authentic jersey, the authentic one. There was a shop. What was the 49er fan club? You guys remember, if you guys are as old as I am, there was a store called the 49er fan club. I had a 49er fan club membership. And I bought it was like a card, and you get a discount on everything. And I got his jersey. It was like $250. Here I am in high school. I was like, dang, man, this jersey's way too big, but it was the only one. I got it. I wore it. And it was funny because when I covered Brandon Lloyd back in, 2014 under Jim Harbaugh, I actually showed him the jersey, and he's like, bro, that's crazy. I was like, yeah. And then we just kind of hit it off that way. But I was like, this is authentic. You know how much this was? And I was in high school. I was working at Safeway. You know, you know how much I had to save? Like, holy cow, dude. It took me like, forever, dude, because I was working part-time at Safeway and being in high school. And then my friends were like, dude, you just wasted that. We could have went to In-N-Out, bro, like 10,000 times. I'm like, nah. I'm a huge 49er fan at the time. Brandon Lloyd would have been good. Brandon Lloyd would have been good. I will say that. All right. What else we got here? Ray Doan for the BEASTwriter family says, RW developed slowly. He really did. Gavin Upright says, Beast, did you see CM Punk's return to wrestling? I did not see that. I got to go see that now. I got to go see that, Gavin. Thank you so much for tuning in, Gavin. Gavin, you've been missing out, bro. I've not talked to you in a while. All right. RWU's return kicks for the Niners. He did. He was a punt returner and he was a kick returner. And in his press conference, he was flexing his guns, and Steve Mariucci was gravitating toward him. He's like, oh my gosh, this guy has big guns. And honestly, that was one of the reasons why I started lifting weights, because here the guy was listed at 5'10", but he's more like 5'9". 5'9" and a half, if I have to be honest with you. And he only weighed probably about, he was actually pretty built. So even though he was short, he was built like a house, like from head to toe. So I would say his muscle mass was probably sitting around 10% body fat. So he's at least 10% body fat. Oh, sorry. At least 90% lean muscle mass, which means he was just built like a house from top to bottom. And he always wore that Band-Aid, and he always wore his gloves off, that number 21. I think he looked up to Deion Sanders. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, I had high hopes for him. He did have that punt return against the St. Louis Rams at the time, not the LA Rams. It was St. Louis Rams, and he returned it for a touchdown at Candlestick Park. I was at that game, and I was like, yeah, he finally did something. Spider Joey 83 says, yes, I do follow you on your YouTube and on Discord too, and on here. There you go. And we appreciate that. Thank you so much. Appreciate the love. All right. Spider Joe says, hey, Ryan, I benched 135 pounds today. I did 100 pull-ups and 100 push-ups. There you go. So you did a push-pull day all in one day, basically, because you did a lot of pushing movements with the bench press. So 135, you're probably hitting the bar and then 2 45-pound plates. That is 135. And that is good. Good job for you. And then you did 100 pull-ups. Man, I don't even do 100 pull-ups. And you did 100 push-ups. I didn't even do 100 push-ups today. I did 40 push-ups today. 40 to 60 push-ups today is what I did. And so I got to get that pump in, right? So in between sets, I always pump it up. Pump it up. All right. Ray Doan says, what else we got here? Man, we got some comments all up in here. All right. Roy Doan says, RW and Langham are legends. Wow, you're taking it back to Antonio Langham. Antonio Langham, oh my gosh, he came from the Baltimore Ravens, if I'm not mistaken. I think he wore Antonio Langham. What number did he wear? I'm thinking of Craig Newsome. Sorry. Craig Newsome also came from the Green Bay Packers to the 49ers, and he did absolutely nothing, along with Gabe Wilkins, number 98, who did absolutely nothing for the Niners. He was just kind of same with Jonas Jennings, number 76, the blindside left tackle out of Buffalo. Oh my gosh, these guys are such busts, man. Like, we signed you to big money contracts, bro, to get it done. No, Antonio Langham played for the Cleveland Browns and then the Baltimore Ravens, came to San Francisco, and he was horrible. So was Nate McMillan from the Kansas City Chiefs, came to San Francisco. He was also known as Mighty Mouse. Didn't do much, number 29 for the San Francisco 49ers during that time. Darnell Walker, number 38, didn't do much. I mean, that's why in 2000, the 49ers had to go out and get 4 defensive players back to back. Because, again, Bill Walsh knew, he's like, dude, we have nobody on defense. We suck. And Jamora, I know you need help, bro. We're going to get you help. Brett Maxey, the defensive back coach, I know you need help. We're going to get you help, bro. So that's why they went out and got JP, Julian Peterson in the first round. And then at number 24, got Ahmed Player. And then in the second round, picked up my favorite, Jason Webster out of Texas A&M. Compared him to Aaron Glenn and Ray Mickens coming out of Texas A&M. And then they got John Engelberger out of Virginia Tech. So a lot of cool guys in that draft class. But then there's also some guys who I thought were going to pan out, like who they get, the linebacker, not in that same draft class, but, guys like Justin Smiley, right? Guys like David Bass, right? Offensive lineman, right? Out of Alabama, and David Bass, I think he came out of the University of Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. I thought those guys were going to be Pro Bowl players, much like Jeremy Newberry turned out to be a Pro Bowl player, but they never really got to that level. And then Rashid Salim. Oh my gosh. Who remembers Rashid Salim, Glenn Coffey? Man, we can go back and talk football all day when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers. Smoogu on Twitch says, I want you to have a okay. Wow, that is awkward. Mel from Die Hard Niner Fans says, home of the good vibes only. All right. 49ers Ultimate Report says Lions superfan Don Burr believes the Lions will score 6 or 7 touchdowns for 49ers week 1. I can't believe that comment that I just read. That was I get a lot of interesting stuff. If you guys follow me on Twitch, when I'm at the gym and I'm posting my fitness grind, you will know that people said, hey, there were comments like choke me, daddy. I'm like, what is going on here? Gavin Upright Cartwright says, Beast, but it's nothing new. On Instagram, if you guys follow me for my Fitspiration on Instagram over the course of the last 5 years, you guys know that this is nothing new. Everything's all posted up there, and you just have to swipe left. You just gotta ignore it, and then it gets kind of interesting here. Shardul Gupta is in the house. We're gonna have him running in here. Shardul, how are you doing today?
Hey, BEASTwriter, it's really great knowing you. I mean, you're great on the cone phone. I mean, I love your takes on the 49ers, man. You have a very different way of taking on the Niners. I mean, I know some people just just think of the Niners a different way, but I like how you interpret it, because it's really nice how you interpret it, because I just like that, because you're so good on the cone phone. I mean, I'm a big fan, and I like what you say, because you have lots of good stuff to say about the Niners. Just
thank you. Man, how you been, man? This is your first time on the live stream here in the BWF, so welcome.
I'm excited. It's my first time.
Yeah. Well, you should be excited. You should be excited for the season. I just thank you so much for your kind words. Mahalo for the love and support. I will say this. I will say everyone has their own unique thing, right? So, like, for me to say one is better than the other, that's just wrong. Like, I'm not going to say that. I will say it is different, right? So if you want a different perspective on something, I'm going to provide that for you. I'm going to keep it unfiltered all the time. Just everybody has a different way of how they want to build up their brand, right? So it's not necessarily wrong or right. It's just different. And I think that's what I try to do, is I like to do things a little bit different, right? I don't like to go with like the herd, so to speak. And I like to carve out my own path. When I was in my bodybuilding show, right? For example, like everyone went to this one team, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do something else. I'm going to carve out my own niche, man. And and the results speak for themselves, right? So it's just almost like at the end of the day, it's almost like for me, I can't speak for anyone else but myself, but doing things different can be a blessing in disguise, right? Like one, it's going to get people to be like, oh, what the heck is this guy saying? But at the end of the day, man, if it pans out and he's right, then that's how I kind of formulated my BWF, right? My
But the
BEASTwriter
good thing
family.
about keeping everything unique and keeping looking things in a
Mhm.
different light is a good way. I mean, because now you have your own takes. I mean, you're not trying to be somebody else and try to
Mhm.
take their ideas and I'm kind of interpreting it their way. So if you have your own way of looking at things, it's a good thing because you have your way of looking at the team and you have your own perspective and own
Mhm.
way of looking at it. So that's a good way of kind of analyzing it. Some people
Yeah.
have their own way of assessing
Mhm.
the team, like how they're doing. I mean, you have your own way of doing it. So, I mean, whenever come on the cone phone, you always ask questions that Grant doesn't know about, and it kind of stumps him sometimes. Like, I do that too, and I ask Grant a question, and he gets stumped. Like, what's that question? I mean, I've never heard of that. So I like doing that because then he's a reporter, so you need to ask him these difficult questions. So it kind of gives him some time to think about
Yeah.
what his answer is gonna be because he doesn't know how to answer those questions. Those questions can be very difficult, and very very
Yeah.
complex,
Right.
and
And,
not easy to answer.
yeah. No.
So
And again, everybody has different perspectives on things, right? Like
yeah,
it's not necessarily wrong. Like it's just different. Like I just like
like
doing
what
things
you're
different.
like the
Yeah.
way
Go
you
ahead.
interpret the team is
Mhm.
not wrong. I mean, it's just your way of analyzing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's good about it is
Yeah.
I mean, I think building up the brand, right, and being a beat writer over the course of the last 2013, so about 6 years now, right? So to 2018, and then branching off to Sports Illustrated, covering the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then branching off covering the Arizona Cardinals, and then branching off again, right? So covering the Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders now. So again, when you have all these different pieces coming together, and then you formulate your own analysis, and then you top that with my own grading system, right? That's pretty much spot on, right? And then the draft rolls around, and my predictions hold up. Everything I had to say about that holds up for more times than not. That's where your credibility for me comes into play, right? I like making predictions. I like putting my balls on the line and predicting stuff. Prove me wrong. You know what I mean? Then and the proof is in the pudding. I can't say I did or didn't say it. It's just the way I like to say. I'm very confident in my analysis, and I will back it up against anyone. So that's one of the things that I kind of learned growing up is doing things that way, and ultimately, knock on wood, I've been more right than wrong more times than not. But yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the love. But what do you have
and
to
I
say
and I
about?
and some people also like when I make predictions,
Mhm,
people also criticize me that when I make a prediction, they say like
mhm,
you have no evidence, why are you making that prediction? So I get criticized because
no,
sometimes I think that I make a far-fetched prediction and
mhm,
it's not anywhere close to being actually true. So I try to make a prediction and I try to think I want it to come out true. Like when you make a prediction, you always want
mhm,
that prediction to come out to be true, like be correct. Because sometimes it's so far fetched
mhm.
that prediction that you made before, you felt like I didn't know what I was saying. I just made a prediction and ended out it wasn't really true because I was so like throwing it out there that we're gonna win this game like 80-0. And then when I looked on the TV, it was like I was so close to my prediction being accurate that kind of really upsets you because when you make a prediction, you want it to be accurate and correct, and you want
Mhm.
you want people to believe you. But
Yeah,
sometimes
well, I
people
mean,
don't believe me because I just make this so far-fetched hypothetical prediction that ends up just not being true and not being accurate.
so that's
And
fine.
I
I
just
mean, you can do keep doing it. I
yeah.
mean, who's stopping you? I mean, who's stopping you for
And,
voicing your own opinion?
and the
And at least you're
and the
putting at least you're putting your stuff on the line. At least you're being a man about it and saying, "Hey, look,
yeah,
this is what I
yeah.
think." Are we 100% right?
Mhm.
No, but who is? None of us are God, right? So we're trying to play the role that no one's perfect, so we're playing a role expecting perfection. The standard that you're trying to build is you want that credibility, so when you make these predictions and it holds up, and then people are like can cross check it. So that's the only thing that I will say about that.
And
But at the end of the day,
and another thing I just want to say is that just keep doing what you do and keep making wonderful content on your channel. Hope your channel grows. Hope you get
Thank
more
you so much.
subscribers. Cause I hope your channel will grow one day. Your channel is gonna be like getting like. I hope your channel does get like a
Mhm.
huge number of people just tuning into your show and watching it, giving you that love and support. Cause
Thank you.
so yeah, I mean, cause I always like to, cause that's just something about me is I just like to get on other people's streams
Mhm.
because I just like to be on different people and
Mhm.
you know just hop on and just get that because I like to be on different streams because then I get to know people different
Yeah.
on different streams. So it's kind of good to
Mhm.
just jump on and even if you don't know the person who the person's channel, if you hop on it, you get to know the person's channel more and then it's kind of a good
Yeah,
way to
absolutely.
get on
All
different
right, so
streams.
all right, Shadow, I gotta let you go. There's some other people that want to hop on, but thank you
Yeah,
so much for tuning in.
but it was really
Appreciate
great
it.
tuning into your show and
You too.
just let me know when you go live next time you go live and I'll definitely try and hop on.
Yeah, just subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Join our Discord. It's right here, bro. So you can join us on Discord. We'd love to have you here in the BWF. Thank you so much, Shadow. All right, we have Waruna Pereira. You guys know who this
Hi,
guy is. This
can you
guy
hear me?
is the guy. This guy's the guy. What is up? What is up, Waruna? How you been, my man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Again, reading another book, Bill Belichick's
Oh, good,
autobiography.
good.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It tells you so many things that
Uh-huh.
he's like the character that he would do anything just to win.
Yeah.
Just to win.
Yeah. What's on your mind today, dude, in terms of the 49ers? Obviously, your guy, Trey Lance, has an index finger problem, but I don't
Mhm.
think it's going to be a big deal, honestly. And it shouldn't be a big deal because everybody gets hurt in the NFL. And although he's not going to be playing for 7 days, do you really need him to play against the Detroit Lions? You're just going to be running the football anyways. Doesn't matter who's behind center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask a different question regarding the
Sure.
NFC. Do you really think that Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be the same team
No.
that is going to challenge?
No, I don't think the Bucks. I don't even think the Bucks are. No. Now, the thing with the Bucks is everyone's picking them. If you look at the Vegas odds, more times than not, they're favorites. Not
Yeah.
here. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to pick the Bucks to repeat. Because again, that was COVID season, and you had Tom Brady, so the locker room dynamic
Exactly.
was so much stronger, right? Because again,
Yes.
the leaders in that locker room. Let me tell you something about COVID season. I always talk about COVID season. Each NFL season has its own identity. Okay, it brings a new beast, a new identity every single time, every single year. This year is so much different because you have so many teams, and again, teams were hit by injury bug last year, right? So when you look at guys like from the edge rushing class, right? Not edge rushing class, but the edge rushers, like they didn't have Chandler Jones, right? The Broncos didn't have Von Miller. The 49ers didn't have Nick Bosa, right? You lose these
Yes.
guys, and okay, then you take the flip side of that. Saquon Barkley from the New York Giants. Christian McCaffrey was banged up all year for the Carolina
Yes.
Panthers. You have a lot of these guys now. Injuries happen, but at the end of the day, it's like these injuries happen because they didn't have a proper off season. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. And that's why players are still getting hurt today because, again, we're still under these COVID restrictions where you can do something, you can't do something. That's why you see Carl Lawson with the torn Achilles out for the year. That's why you see some of these other players who are out with significant time. But at the end of the day, no, I don't think the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to repeat. I just don't. I don't think so. I'm going to put it out there. I know. So Tom Brady, if you're
totally
watching
agree
this,
with you.
I'm sorry. I love you, Tom Brady, but
Yeah.
I don't think you're
The
going to repeat, bro.
other argument that I'm making is that they played 3 road games to get to the Super Bowl. I mean,
Yeah.
if that was a regular season, you are playing against huge crowds. That's a big factor. So basically, they are played in empty stadiums. So
Right.
it was like home. I mean, it's a neutral venue. So that's why another thing I believe that it's hard to do it again.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because you look at the numbers, right? If me and you talk about analytics, I'm a very analytical guy. Eric Wright, the former San Francisco 49er, great San Francisco cornerback wide receiver, calls me the analytical guy. I take that as a compliment. I am very analytical because analytics tell you part of the story, not the whole base of the story, but they tell you things, right? Numbers tell you things. They tell you things.
Yeah.
it will tell you, like you just said, what are the odds of a Super Bowl team repeating as champion? If you take the New England Patriots out of the equation, it's not very high.
Yeah, not very high.
Yeah. All right.
So
anyways,
other than that, what is your prediction for teams like? Okay, I have to ask about 3 teams especially: Rams, Packers, and Washington football team. What is your prediction for these 3 teams?
I did actually do my prediction. I think I put that. I was going to put that on Discord if I haven't already. I thought I put up my I thought I did that. I thought I put up my predictions on teams that I would. Well, I'm not saying I would bet on them, but if I was to put my money on it, these are the teams that I think would win their respective divisions, right? Like the NFC West, right? All things created equal if teams were healthy, right? Of course. But I look at a team like the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, honestly, I think they're going to come out of the West. I know that sounds crazy, but that's just the way I see things trending right now. Now, if they go 3-7, then yeah, they're not going to go anywhere. But again, can the Cardinals really make that jump? Because again, their secondary is not the strongest. The Cardinals secondary is not the strongest, and they have a rookie in Xavier Collins. Cool story, bro. But Isaiah Simmons, yeah, he's still getting acclimated to the game. But you lose guys, you don't know how strong Chandler Jones is going to be coming back, right? You don't know, and he's in a contract year. So if you're heavily invested in a contract year as an edge rusher, you got to look at the financials of it from a GM perspective and say, hey, look, is Chandler Jones more concerned about getting sacks for that second contract, or is more concerned about stopping this run when it's 3rd and short? Do you see what I'm saying? Because incentives play a role.
Exactly.
If he goes to the Pro Bowl, that's going to have have what's called an escalator in his contract, and that's going to play a role in leveraging his next negotiation in his contract. Because right now he wants to be traded. So if the Cardinals aren't doing so hot, I mean that's just good news for the Niners. Like, dude, we just run that Chandler Jones. He's going to over pursue every time. So I don't know. If Chandler Jones is watching this, like, oh, BEASTwriter, you don't know what you're saying. But no, it's true, though. Think about it logically. You have to think outside the box, and that's what I love to do. I think the Niners are going to come out of the NFC West. Now, hopefully Jimmy Garoppolo gets it together.
Okay. So then Rams going
I'm rooting for Trey Lance. I'm rooting for Trey Lance. I hate to say that. I'm with you. I want to see Trey Lance. I think we all do. I think we all want to see Trey Lance. No one wants to see Jimmy Garoppolo anymore. We all want Trey Lance. We all want Lance. Yeah, let's get it. But at the same time, it's kind of like, but we want to win too. So like, what do we do with there? What do we do there?
Yeah, actually, the thing is, I'm kind of still believe that with Matthew Stafford. I mean, I'm not big Matthew Stafford fan, but still, I believe Rams would be the best team out of NFC West. Yeah. I mean, I just have a weird feeling that Rams will win the division. What do you think?
You think the Rams are going to win the division? I will say this. I will say the Rams. That's a good question. That is I think the Seahawks have a better chance than the Rams. I think the Seahawks better chance. And here's why. I'll tell you why. Just the same problem that the 49ers have is they're switching defensive coordinators, right? Brandon Staley is now off to the LA Chargers.
Yeah.
So they have a new signal caller there, and that defense I'm telling you, Brandon Staley, I covered all 32 NFL teams. I watched game film on every single. The way he thinks on the back end of that defense with those secondary and those moving parts was just next level. Like I had trouble covering LA Rams games when giving a grade on Jalen Ramsey because I had to cross check it so many different times with so many different people. Like. It was the hardest thing that I had to do. And whether it be John Johnson or someone else on the back end, it was just really tough to do that. But when you talk about certain things and certain levels of play, when it comes to defensive coordinators, you really have to put things in perspective. Yeah, they have Aaron Donald. He's going to eat, but you can neutralize him possibly with interior guard play, right? You can neutralize him. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him, but you can neutralize him. They don't have very many pieces in terms of the back end. They lost John Johnson to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns are going to come. They're my pick to represent the AFC North. I think they're going to win the AFC North. All right. So if you talk about the Cleveland Browns, but the Rams, they're right there. They have Matthew Stafford. In my opinion, I think Matthew Stafford is the second best quarterback within the division. I think Russell Wilson's still number one. But when you talk about the Seahawks and you talk about the Rams, and then you talk about the Niners, I think the Niners are very hungry. I think the Niners want to show that, hey, our offensive line may not be the strongest, but we're very well coached on both sides of the football, right? Yes. And ultimately, that's going to play a role. Rams, to your point, I mean, who do you? Let me put it back on you. Why do you say the Rams? Obviously, they got Matthew Stafford, but then they lost Cam Akers, right? Cam Akers is out for the year, and they had to make a trade for Sonny Michel. So without a stable running back, why do you, in your estimation, believe that the Rams are actually considered players in the NFC West?
The thing is, Rams got a running back from Patriots, right? They traded
Sonny Michel, correct.
Yes,
the first round pick out of Georgia. Yeah.
So my thing is like, if you take 49ers, if you take Rams, the running back department is well coached. I mean, whoever is coming to San Francisco, he's going to be better than average running back. I think same is with the Rams. So they have the scheme. So anyone with basic level of understanding of the scheme and potential, they can do it. So that's why I think they have they don't have to worry that much about the situation. So with Matthew Stafford, because Jared Goff really struggled last year.
Right.
So that's why I think, if Matthew Stafford can have a decent season, but he did with Lions, then most probably they can put 30 points easily on the board. So that's why I believe Rams are the real threat in NFC West.
I just think, in my estimation, I don't think the Rams are as good as people make them out to be. I think it's going to be the 49ers and the Seahawks fighting for the NFC West. Because here, again, the Seahawks did something that no one's talking about. They solidified both sides of the football down in the trenches. They traded for Gabe Jackson out of Las Vegas, right? They still got Damian Lewis, right, sitting there as the guard. And then on the flip side of that, you see what they did, and they got guys. Jaron Reed's now off to the Kansas City Chiefs, but then you roll guys in, like they re-signed Carlos Dunlap, right? They had to freaking release him because of his cap number, but then he was a midseason trade from the Cincinnati Bengals, but then signed him back, right? And then they extended Jamal Adams, and then they got Ahkello Witherspoon. I know people are slow on Ahkello Witherspoon, but I'm telling you right now, all reports and everything that I reported in my pre-Seahawks analysis on Ahkello Witherspoon, and you know about this, in my grading system, he graded out extremely well. And now he's going to be one of the starting quarterbacks in that back end of that secondary with Quandre Diggs there and Jamal Adams. And now you have Ahkello Witherspoon. I'm telling you right now, people are going to make the mistake and say, you know what, maybe we shouldn't have given up on Ahkello Witherspoon. And that's when Ahkello Witherspoon's cousin was hopping on our show right before he left and wanted my analysis because he probably wanted to save it somewhere and be like, well, I said, you know what? Hey, he's a hell of a player in my grading system. I pulled it up and I said, hey, he's going to be doing well. And next thing I know, he's off to Seattle. I'm telling you right now, Niner fans are going to be wishing they had Ahkello Witherspoon. They are.
Okay.
They are.
Okay.
They are. And here's the thing. Here we're sitting at August 30th, right? Let's circle back to this midseason. Okay, give it midseason. Give 7-8 weeks. Give it to the Niner bye week, right? And then we can better assess how Ahkello Witherspoon's play is. And then be like, you know what, Ryan? You are freaking way off on that. You're horrible. You're a horrible reporter. You suck. Or you'd be like, dude, another one checks off the box in my YouTube Twitter receipts, right? It's going to be one or the other. There's not going to be a gray area there. All right. So I am really eager to see, and I'm not afraid to say it, Ahkello Witherspoon, in my estimation, I think the Niners gave up on him way too early. And I blame that on John Lynch, who drafted him and who led the freaking FBS in pass breakups coming out of college.
Oh, that's not a good news for me. Because I didn't expect him to do good.
Before you go,
yes.
What are your takes for the Niners going into the season, though? Because you like covering all. You're like me. You like to think like all NFL teams, right? You cover every NFL team, right? You don't cover it, but you kind of know. You pick your teams. Who do you see the 49ers being the toughest team within the division if it wasn't the Rams? Would you agree that it's the Seahawks, or you think it's the Cardinals?
Seahawks.
Okay. All right. We agree on that. So All right. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much, Varuna, for tuning in. Tell your wife you guys said hi, and I'm going to be making a trip to Sacramento sometime. Probably, dude, maybe on the bye week. I'll make a trip out there on the bye week.
Okay, we can meet. Just
Okay.
let me know. Just let
I
me
will.
know just in advance.
I will, buddy. All right. Thank you so much. And follow Varuna Pereira. He is working with Grant at Sports Illustrated. And Varuna, plug your stuff. Go ahead. Plug all your stuff.
I only have Twitter, so at Varuna. That's easy to follow. That's all
There
I
you go.
have.
There you go. All right. Thank you so much, Varuna, and take it easy, buddy.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right. All right. Take it easy. All right. We have my boy Will, the Thrill. Hold on. Yeah, you're muted, bro. Muted yourself, homie.
What's going on, man?
Bruh, what have you been up to? You have not been on this stream for freaking, it seems like years, bruh.
Man,
Come on.
Man, I've been working, bro. This is just work taking most of my time. What's going on? How you been, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm back on prep. I'm on Discord. For those who don't know, have you ever heard of Discord before?
No.
Okay, you got to join Discord. Help your boy out. Join Discord. It's free. It's just like Twitter. It's just an app. It's a free app like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, freaking YouTube, same thing. The cool thing about Discord is no matter what social media platform you're on, because odds are you don't follow me on every single social media platform that I'm on, you will get notified 110% of the time. And you can talk with other people and I'm in there 24/7. So if you have a question, you can just hit me up. If you're at work right now, I'm like, yo, what is BEASTwriter? Just open the Discord app and then you'll be able to talk to me. And then we can talk about whatever you want. And then we have other people in the BEASTwriter family and the BWF who are in there as well. So it's all about good vibes only. And we do giveaways in there, dude. So it's only exclusively for Discord. So you're going to want to join, bro. Okay. So what I'm telling you is join.
All right. All right. Most definitely, man.
And tell all your family and friends. And we have each channel set up according to the teams fan bases that are in there. So we have the Niners, the Cardinals, what else we have? The Seahawks, the Steelers, the Packers, the Bears, the Raiders. Who else do we have in there? All the Chiefs are in there. So yeah, we have about 10 teams in there. So you should definitely join when you do this. And just open up right here. That's the private link. So just open up in that new web browser. John Jay's in there too. John Jay's about to hop on after this. But yeah, we're all in there. It's all about good vibes only. You can talk about whatever it is you want. But anyways, enough about the Discord, enough about me promoting Discord, but I got to do it because of good stuff. But what is on your mind?
Well, the elephant in the room, the quarterback position for the 49ers, man. I've been on a tirade. I mean, I've been at war with Jimmy fans for months. Yeah. About because I believe Trey Lance needs to play right away. But it looks like Kyle Shanahan. Kyle is going to be Kyle. He's going to be stubborn. He's going to. That's just his mojo. He's stubborn. If he thinks it's supposed to be done this way, and that's the way he likes it, he's gonna go with it. No explanations, no questions asked. But so it looks like he may go to a 2-quarterback system. But me personally, I mean, from what I've seen during preseason, I think that Kyle should just go ahead and let Jimmy play, because Jimmy is going to mess up anyway. He's going to lose the job for himself anyway. Mm-hmm. You let Jimmy play, he's going to come across a team. I say either week 4 or week 5 against Arizona or Seattle I don't know who they play first. Either I think it was Arizona, then Seattle, or Seattle, then Arizona.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. There's two. Yeah, people are going to be like, dude, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He got the weeks messed up. It's like, dude, shut up. No, there's people out there, bro. You know how Facebook works.
Oh, the trolls, man. The trolls.
What are you talking about, bro? Like, you have no idea what you're talking. It's like, dude, chill out, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, calm down, dude. Sorry, I missed one word. My bad, dude.
Yeah, man. He's crazy. Trolls, man. They everywhere. But bro. But yeah, man, it's gonna come to a point where Jimmy's gonna come against either one of those teams, and he's gonna mess it up. And then once he messes up, then by that time, I think Trey will be. I think he'll understand the game more by then, to the point where once Jimmy messes up, you can send Trey Lance in there, and then his career can start his starting career, his whole NFL career can start right there. So I think the safest thing is I'm so pro Lance. I want Lance to start week 1, but it's some things that Lance does need to clean up, like high throws. I'm not going to go against him with the ball velocity. I mean, these receivers are getting paid millions of dollars in Lamborghinis and all this type of luxury to catch football. So I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go against Lance about throwing velocity. I mean, if the ball hits your hand, you got to catch it. Point blank period. I mean, Brett Favre was doing that, throwing bullets, breaking people's hands, throwing the football, but don't matter. You got to catch it. So if Lance can get those high balls down, man, he'll be just fine. So I think the safest thing to do is just let Jimmy play, just so he can control the whole locker room. Keep it from being divided. Just let Jimmy play, because everybody expects Jimmy to play. So let Jimmy play, and then cause he's gonna mess up anyway. He's gonna mess up anyway. The game is coming to where he's gonna have a bad game, and then Kyle Shanahan be like, okay, Kyle is looking for a reason to put Lance in. So
scapegoat. Jimmy Garoppolo's a scapegoat, and I said it before. He's a scapegoat, and we talked about this, and that's why I said Jimmy Garoppolo's going to be starting week 1. It's not even an issue. Even if Trey Lance was injured, he still wasn't starting. I'm telling you, and everyone was like, "Well, what do you know?" And I was like, "Because I know." Yeah. And then here we are today, right? Like you said, exactly like you said. Are you at work right now?
Yeah, but I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. I thought you were looking at your manager, being like, "Hey, bro."
Oh, no, I'm looking at a computer now. You good, bro?
Oh, okay, cool. But anyways, so what I was thinking is, and what I was saying was basically, they need a scapegoat, and whether Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they were just walking the fine line, like I said, since day one. No matter who the quarterback was, they're going to be walking that fine line because they need that one more year for Jimmy Garoppolo because it buys them another year. Think about it. If they roll with Trey Lance straight out of the gates, even though he may be, in their estimation, ready, and he struggles, and they were wrong about it, you can't go back, because now the locker room is now going to have a disconnect to where, hey, you already made that executive decision to go ahead and play Trey Lance. You can't go back on your word and now roll with Jimmy Garoppolo, because what the hell is that all about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like somebody who you're training at work, right? And then all of a sudden, that guy's going to take your job, right? And then you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
And then he all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? And then he takes your job. Yeah. So it's you can't do that.
I mean, to keep everybody safe, me personally, if I was Kyle Shanahan, I'll start Trey Lance week 1 right now. To keep everything safe for my coaching career sake, for John Lynch's general manager career sake, for the emotions of the players in the locker room, just go ahead, let Jimmy play, and then you can put Lance in there on situational plays, you can do that, but let Jimmy play. Because we all know now, the Jimmy fans they're gonna hate me for saying this, and I don't care. But it is what it is. Jimmy is Jimmy. I mean, everybody knows Jimmy is Jimmy. So just let Jimmy play until that game, until he messes up, throw 2 interceptions or anything like that, and then that'll give Kyle Shanahan enough reason to put Trey Lance in, and then Trey Lance's career can start. Then whatever they do with Jimmy after that, I mean, it's whatever. Release him, trade him, or whatnot. But it's the safest thing to do is just let Jimmy play, because we all know that he's going to mess up. It's going to come to a point where he messes up in that particular game, and then Kyle can just take the leash off of him and tell Jimmy, okay, Jimmy, nice for you, contributing for our team and taking us to the Super Bowl and all this, that, and the third. But the time has come now for for Trey to go ahead and start his career. So that's all. I mean, it's simple. I mean, to me, it's a good idea. Just let Jimmy play, because Jimmy's going to be Jimmy. He's going to mess up, and Trey just come in and take over from there.
So this is what I see happening, right? I think they win their first 2 games. So I'll just give you the schedule. At Detroit, season opener, they're going to win. I don't know by how much, but they're going to cover. I don't care what the spread is. I'm freaking playing that game. I'd pick them. At Philadelphia, they're going to, Philadelphia, they're at home now, right? And they're going to get loud. So I think it's going to be it's an early AM game. It's a 10 a.m. kickoff. So that can have an effect on the body clock, because, obviously they're playing back east. I think that's going to be a lot closer. But I do think the Niners will ultimately win that game. Then they come home for their season opener against Green Bay. You can't go against the Niners at home in their season opener. So I'm going to say 3-0.
Yeah.
So now they're 3-0. Okay, so with 2 more weeks heading into their bye. All right, so versus Seattle. Okay, now they have a kickoff against Seattle. I think in that game, that's where I think, if I had to take a guess, that's where Jimmy Garoppolo might struggle.
Yes. Yeah. I
Okay,
agree.
the Seattle game. Okay, so they might lose that game. So now it might be 3-1. At Arizona, I think that's a game that they're just going to win. So now they'll go 4-1, even though it's within the division. I didn't come off 4-1 heading into the bye week. All right, and then they off the bye week, they have 2 weeks to prepare for the Indianapolis Colts at home. I do think having an extra week to prepare. Now, again, all things created equal with no injuries on both sides of the football or on either team. Obviously, you have DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard there, and you have the best offensive line in all of football. I think they might lose that game because, again, you're talking about time of possession, and Jimmy Garoppolo has proven to us that he can't. He's erratic with the football. He doesn't live to play another down. I think in that game, what the Colts are going to try to do is they're going to try to shorten that game up.
Right.
So I'm actually going to be rolling with the Colts to cover, although the Niners might be favored since they're home team and you have to give them 3 points. I think the Colts were, and again, that's a Sunday night football game. All right. That's an under the lights. So now you have 2 games that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to struggle. And then they go and play at Chicago and a 10 a.m. kickoff back east. That game is going to be, I don't know. I think the Niners might struggle. I think Jimmy Garoppolo might struggle at Chicago. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that might happen. Now, I think Roquan Smith is the best off-ball linebacker in my grading system and checks out even better than Fred Warner, even better than Bobby Wagner, who's not even the best. But against Fred Warner, guys like that, Darius Leonard, I think Roquan Smith is the best off-ball linebacker in the game. So I think that could be a trap game. So by maybe my thinking is Arizona versus Arizona on November 7th, week 9. I think that might be a play where they make the switch to Trey Lance. I think it might be November 7th, week 9.
Okay.
Versus the Arizona Cardinals. But again, we have to see how it plays out. And as everything comes full circle, we're going to have to see how this really comes to fruition. Because again, we really don't know. And it's on a week-by-week basis, as you know, in the NFL. So we're projecting We're projecting 3 months out, like November we're projecting. So I don't know, man. Either way, go ahead.
But I will say this though. If you start Jimmy week 1 against the Lions and we're not dominating, like if it's a nail biter against the Lions, that would be like a shockwave throughout the whole fan base. If you down to the wire in a game with the Lions and Jimmy G is the quarterback, that's a problem. That's gonna be a problem, and it's gonna be on Jimmy because everybody already says when Jimmy's on the field he's winning. Like what I'm saying, like Jimmy plays wide receiver too, and he plays center, and he plays lineman, he plays the safety, he plays the linebacker. Like it's like 11 Jimmys out there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if the game is close, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna rely on Jimmy because Jimmy is healthy. He has a revamped offensive line. He has to run. Still has to run the game. He has a defense. There shouldn't be no excuses for him to go out there and not have success against a rebuilding program like the Lions or even the Eagles. So if we win those games by the skin of our teeth, that's a problem.
It is a problem, but you can't make a switch because at the end of the day, it's all about winning, right? It's all about winning. So from a coaching perspective, and again, from the dynamic of, again, I was in the Bay Area. I was a beat writer for the team, right? So I know, right? I'm telling you right now, you cannot make a switch when Jimmy Garoppolo has technically led the team, even though he didn't lead the team. You all know how the headlines work. Yeah. To like a 4-2 record or a 5-3 record, and then make a switch, even though the numbers may dictate that he's struggling. Because at the end of the day, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to name drop the players. I spoke with 5 players. Okay, 5. Very high regarded, okay? Very highly regarded. There is already that's not even a question. There is some kind of toxic locker room dynamic there because, again, behind closed doors, the conversations that are taking place are, we support both quarterbacks, but we have been rolling with Jimmy G since day one. The new blood, I'm not tied to Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm a rookie. I came in the same class as Trey Lance, or I just came here as a free agent. So what do I care? I just want to win. And then you have the people who just want to win. I don't care who's at quarterback. I just want to win. But again, like if you're my boy, right, and you helped take us or helped us to the Super Bowl, and then someone else came in, I would be like, I'm rolling with you, bro.
Right.
You're my boy. I'm rolling with you.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, this guy may give us a better chance to win, then okay. But if it's kind of like we don't know yet because he's a rookie, then it's almost like I'm loyal to you, so I'm going to be loyal to you. You know,
to be honest, I don't think. I think Brandon Ayuk is more tied into Trey Lance than Jimmy. I don't think Ayuk has. I think Brandon Ayuk don't really rock with Jimmy like that. To be honest with you.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Because he worked out over the offseason more with Lance than he did Jimmy. And Debo and I think I heard Debo didn't even work out with Jimmy at all this offseason. I mean,
how about George Kittle?
Yeah, George Kittle. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They wearing T-shirts with each other and all that stuff.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And who's the leader? Who's the leader of that locker room?
Yeah, George Kittle, one of them. He's one of them.
If you had to say the leader, if you had to say one leader in that locker room, pick one player, who would it be?
Fred Warner.
You would say Fred Warner.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say Fred Warner. Offense, George Kittle.
Offense, now you talking about offense and leaders of the offense and defense. Offense, I would say George Kittle. Yeah.
Yeah, George Kittle. Yeah. It's going to be freaking weird, man. I think this is going to be such a weird season for the Niners because there's so many fans that want Trey Lance, but they still want to win. And ultimately, if they're winning, then that means Trey Lance's maturation of seeing the field diminished.
Jimmy almost ended his career yesterday, diving in head first.
I saw that.
Right.
I'm watching the replay on NFL Network right now. It's hilarious. Why did he do that?
Well, you know why he did it, because he got a rookie on his butt. If a rookie wasn't here, he wouldn't have did it. You know what I'm saying? So he trying to do everything he can to solidify his position. You know, if Lance wasn't here right now, he probably would have threw that ball out of bounds or did something crazy with it. I mean, you know. So yeah, I saw that. That was like, was it inside the 5-yard line? And he did it against 2 defenders. He just freaking went head first. It's like, wait, what are you doing, dude? Yeah. So,
but I don't know. I don't know. I guess he knows, like, hey, man, injured or not, man, I can play with one leg, one arm. If Jimmy Garoppolo's like, if it was my index finger, I just throw with my left arm. I don't care, man.
Yeah.
You ain't taking me out, bro.
But yeah, man. I'm about to get out, man. I gotta get back to work. I just want to hop in on your show, man, because I ain't been on in a minute, man. But I appreciate you for having me on, man. Oh yeah, man. I just want to let everybody know, man. I'm on Real Talk, Nana Talk, man. It's hosted by OG Don Q, Cousin Dave OG, Juju the Great, and Silverado Kev, man. It's called Real Talk, Nana Talk. We on every Tuesday.
Silverado Kev used to write for me, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, he did? Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yes, I think so. Ask him. Yeah, he used to write for me. He's been one of my Redditors for NinerFans.com. Ask him about it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure if it's the same guy.
All right. Yeah, man. So, but yeah, man, y'all just tune in, man, every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, man. Every Tuesday, bro. It's good vibes in there, man. Good content, man. So I appreciate you having me on, man.
Always, bro. You guys gotta hop on my show. I'll hop on yours. All right, take it easy, Will. And Will the Thrill, thank you so much. All right, so Peter Moa says he's gonna be like Ronnie Lott. Take it off. I'm gonna go back. All right, we had John Jay in here for a little bit, but he had to get going. He's like, had a lot of guests. Yeah, we had a lot of guests. If you guys want to tune in, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, I'm gonna be wrapping up this live stream. We're about 1 hour and 28 minutes in. I do want to talk about why I believe the Seattle Seahawks are just going to give the 49ers problems. I don't think the Rams are going to give the 49ers problems as much as the Seattle Seahawks. One, the Seattle Seahawks are the Seattle Seahawks. They always give the 49ers problems. The LA Rams, I don't know. Are they even a home team in their own freaking city? No, it's the 49ers. 49ers, and it's a home game for the Niners. It's a home game for any opposing team that plays in LA. Unfortunately, I don't know what else to tell you, but it kind of is what it is. Like, same with the Chargers. Like, does anyone go watch the Chargers? I mean, I went to San Diego State, and where are the Chargers fans at, bro? Like, yeah. They're not in San Diego anymore. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So anyways, let me just talk about the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're going to be a team on the rise that's going to give the Niners problems, and I'm going to break it down because I think, and I like the way they solidified the trenches and the way they're building out their team from the inside out, not the outside in, and really solidifying that secondary, though, with Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, and they got some few pieces like Ahkello Witherspoon, right? So they got Kerry Hyder Jr. People tend to forget who was the leading sack artist for the San Francisco 49ers, Kerry Hyder Jr. He's now off to the division rival Seattle Seahawks. And then you team him up with Carlos Dunlap. Are you kidding me? I mean, you don't think that the two are going to rack up for a combined at least 15 to 18 sacks next year? Or this upcoming year, I should say? Yes. Because Carlos Dunlap alone is a double-digit sack artist. Kerry Hyder Jr. may have had an anomaly when it came to last year playing under Coach K and Robert Saleh, but again, he's running the same scheme, which is why the Seattle Seahawks probably signed him. They're like, hey, man, like, same scheme. We don't have to coach this guy up. At least we're getting 5 to 6 sacks out of Kerry Hyder Jr. We know what we're getting with Carlos Dunlap. So, I don't know. I just like the way the team is built right now, and we really have to. They still have Bobby Wagner, right? They got Jordan Brooks, right, in the first round last year out of Texas Tech. He's going to be coming back 1 year under his belt. So you're going to see the maturation process from year 1 to year 2. That's where you're going to see the most growth from an NFL player. And that's where you want to see the most growth from the NFL player. And then they got Ahkello Witherspoon, like I said, and then on the back end. So I'm excited for what the Seattle Seahawks are going to do. And then you look at the front side, right? They got Gabe Jackson. They still have Damian Lewis. They got Dwayne Brown, blindside left tackle, who's looking for a new contract, who was a hold-in, not a holdout. Jamal Adams was another hold-in, not a holdout. So a lot of hold-ins with the Seattle Seahawks who want big money deals. But again, and then you got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who in my estimation is the best 1-2 wide receiver duo in the entire NFL. And of course, you got Russell Wilson. So again, the parts are there for them to succeed. Now, is that going to pan out? I don't know. Can Chris Carson stay healthy? I don't know. But what I do know is Seattle Seahawks are probably going to give the 49ers the most run for their money when it comes to the NFC West. All right. So what else we got going on here? Tony M. Durant says, boo. Yeah, Seahawks, boo. Yeah, this is a fun stream. But again, if you guys are just tuning in, Trey Lance injured his finger, his index finger on his throwing hand, and he will be out for the next 7 days at least with a chip. I think it's going to be a fracture. They're not disclosing the exact extent of the injury or exactly what he injured, what finger he injured. Kyle Shanahan said 1 of 5 fingers. Well, Kyle, we only have 4 fingers and 1 thumb. But I get what you're saying. So we kind of have to decipher, even though he wouldn't tell us. I was like, okay, well, at least 4. And odds are it's on the throwing hand, because if it was on the offhand, you could still play. You could still do some things with it. You just freaking wrap it up and you're good to go. So I'm thinking it's the index finger. I'm just thinking it's the index finger. All right. Well, that'll be it for this live stream on the 49ers quarterback Trey Lance and your San Francisco 49ers. If you liked what I had to say, please hit the like button in this video and hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as you stay up to date on all things Beast in real time. Also, subscribe to our Discord. We are on Discord while I provide my BWF exclusive content found nowhere else on the web by yours truly, only on Discord. So again, I put up some stuff already on Trey Lance's fracture and why I thought it was a fracture. So if you want that Beast analysis and that insight, you're going to have to join us on Discord, because again, there'll be stuff on Discord that I don't release on my other social media platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I had a lot of fun. BEASTwriter has to get out of here and run my game grading system on some of these players for the upcoming season opener. Stay tuned for the next live stream, guys. Take care. BEASTwriter out.